is the Judas Cradle. The Judas
Yeah, I'd never
Cradle.
heard of this one before.
Oh, no, no, I've never heard of it. I'll be honest. It's also known as the Judas Chair or the Guiding Cradle.
Mm.
Was a torture device that, despite there being evidence that the Judas Cradle existed and was used in carnival sideshows before the 16th century, the torture device is most often associated with the Spanish Inquisition, but it was generally an Italian invention. It took advantage of the forces of gravity to torture its victims in the most delicate of places.
Oh, yeah.
So, yes, how you ask? Well,
Yeah. The pictures of it is like is some contraption with chains and ropes and
but the actual thing just looks pretty. It does look pretty simple. Like the
yeah,
actual.
it's just like a pyramid, like almost like one of the Egyptian needles.
Yeah, yeah. It's the Judas Cradle was a heavy pyramid-shaped device made of wood. The main part consisted of a wooden stake that pointed upwards, caped with a sharp pointed tip. This was supported typically on four sides by wooden beams to help the stake be held in the upright position. Before being tortured, the victim would have their hands and feet tied together so that they were unable to shift their weight easily. Then, using a series of ropes and pulleys, the torturer would lower the victim down onto the Judas cradle. Yes, lower him down where?
Yeah,
uh,
not the best place.
Not the best places. So, yes, to increase the pain inflicted on their victim, the torturer would add weights to the victim's legs. By doing this, they increased the effects of gravity, shoving the tip of the stake further into the victim's private parts. So, so it's
So
like,
you're
go on.
essentially just getting pulled apart. Like
Yeah.
it's just splitting you in two, basically,
Yes. The tip of it into the person's.
into the arsehole.
Oh, I was going to say rectum, but into the arse. Oh, maybe if it's a woman, if it's a woman, it could be in other
Yeah,
parts. Yes, into there, and then just your normal weight of gravity holds it down. But then to get worse, just put
yeah, to add extra weight to it.
weights in
That must
it.
have been if the executioner was in a rush. He's like, I've got to get on.
God. Well, to be honest, I don't know how long the methods would that method would take to um split a person because it's like you sit them on there and it could have been
It
on
could
there
be
for
wild.
yeah
Uh,
days.
assume it'd be like internal bleeding situation.
True. Yeah, and then just weights on it and you just splitting open like a I don't know what like.
I would assume you'd have to do pretty something pretty bad to get this one.
Well, you never know. It was the Spanish
Yeah,
Inquisition. They
yeah.
they didn't
They were notoriously lenient people.
yeah. Yeah, and the torture device was most associated with the Spanish Inquisition, as I said. But it was a Italian invention, apparently. It's harsh and well, this is a podcast about the dark side of humanity, the torture devices. So yes, it's
Yeah, that one is really rough.
yeah, but it's rough, but it's sort of the one before the brazen ball was it was inventive, but it was this one is
Yeah,
just like it's
at
pretty
least at least you were sort of away from people seeing you inside the ball, whereas with this you were just sat on a pedestal
yeah,
wa- watching you get split in half.
agony.
Yeah, there's no way you're coming out of that with any dignity.
No, everything's falling out. Falling out of your arse. Literally. But yeah, man. Yes, that's harsh.